Hi, welcome to Cucumber102 by Alejandro Sanchez. Today, what we will investigate or look into is we're going to look into the gherkin format. We're going to look into the popular given, when, then, and but. Also bullet points, passing variables, scenarios versus scenario outlines, and reusable steps. So let's try. So as you remember previously, I'm using Eclipse as my IDE, and I'm using chimp.js as my framework to run my Cucumber feature files. So if I go into chimp, watch, as we saw in our previous tutorial, it will start a browser and it will pretty much look for our watch files. So something I have prepared earlier were my step definitions in my notes. So we're gonna be looking at scenarios with given, when, then, bullet points, variables, scenario examples, and with reusable steps. So let's just copy our first feature into our new feature file. So I'll be creating a new feature file called conversations.feature and finish. So in this one, our feature is I want to record this conversation, and my scenario is conversation scenario GWT, so for given, when, then. As you can see, the format, the feature, is the main piece that we're gonna be creating, and your scenarios will be something similar as your test cases. Your given, when, then are your steps that you execute, and the conditions of given, when, then, and but. As from what you remember, we need to use watch to be able to run these transactions in chimp, and we will get our step definition. So as you can see on the console, the scenario conversation, then we have undefined steps for given. I say hello. When, she responds, how are you? Then I say good, thanks, and also ask how they are, but forget to say my name. So let's create these step definitions. So as you remember, it's a GS file that we need to create and use the same name convention, conversations.js, and finish. Then what we'll be able to do, we'll be able to copy all of those step definitions, and you might need to do a little bit of cleanup. So the only module that we need is that first module export. So you can delete these steps in here, this line of code here, this line of code there, and this line of code there. Okay, so once we save, we should be able to see that all of our steps are pending. So if you can see, one scenario is pending, and given I say hello, when she responds, how are you, and so on. So as you can see, the step definition is using the pending. Now what we're gonna use is just a simple console log, and we're just gonna say hello, right? And pretty much what we will be doing is we'll be creating a console log for the other ones. How are you? We will respond good, thanks. We forgot to say how are you, and my name is Alex. Okay, so once we save these steps, what you'll see is all of the steps will pass, and you'll see the console. So say hello, how are you, good thanks, how are you, my name is Alex. Okay, so this is your basic given, when, then, and pretty much we're just using console log to, because as we're gonna be looking into it, we'll be looking into just the Gherkin syntax in this tutorial, and then we will be looking on other tutorials on how we can connect with the browser. Okay, so the next step is I want to make them bullet points. So I can copy my bullet point scenarios, right? They will have the same step definition. The only difference is they're not given when, then. Now, what you might think is that this might not work, or that they're different scenarios, but as I save this feature, you'll see the two scenarios will pass, and you'll have here in the console given I say hello, or bullet point I say hello. So this is the same. The reason you have those two format is sometimes the given, when, then format is not clear, or it drives away from what the step is trying to do, so you can also use bullet points. So what's our next? I want to pass variables. So as you can see, I'm just going to be using again bullet points, or I can use the given, when, then, but I'm going to start passing some variables. So to pass your variables or your text strings or integers or whatever information you want to pass is through double quotes. Okay. Now, if I save this, these step definitions are different. So as you can see, I need to create a new set of step definitions that will cater for these transactions. As I say hello, will only say hello, compared to I say hi, can be able to say different wordings. Okay, so let's just copy that set of step definitions in our step definition file. Do a little bit of cleanup. And save. And as you can see, the two steps are passing, and then we have the ones that are undefined. Okay, with I say hi. Now the console log for I say hi, in here, pretty much we have an argument, and we can pass actually that argument into what we want to say. And pretty much you can do that step across all of those ones at this stage, right? I suggest to do different, change those arguments to something more meaningful, but we will look that into other tutorials. Okay, so we save these transactions, and now what we'll see is everything is passing because we're having our console log. So our console log saying hi, because that's what we pass. Hi, how are you? We pass how are you? Good, thanks. How about you? By the way, my name is Alex, right? So we want to change this to hello, and maybe my name is not Alex, it's Alejandro. And as I save that, again, you'll see I now say hello instead of hi, and by the name, my name is Alejandro instead of Alex. So this will enable you to be data driven and pass different variables into your step definitions. Okay, now there's other ways that you can actually create scenarios, which is called the scenario outline. With this scenario outline, what it enables to you is to cater for multiple scenarios into just one set of steps. Okay, and what this allows you to do is to minimize the maintenance that you do and visualize things with just tables or preconditions, right? Now, the scenario outline says that given I say a precondition, when I say an action, then I say a reaction. And the reason I want to use these ones is pretty much I just want to show you how the steps get created, and then we can use reusables. As I save this, what you'll see is in here I should have 1, 2, and 3 different scenarios. And what you can see in the scenarios now, instead of having 1, 2, 3, 4, you have 6, right? 6 scenarios, 3 undefined and 3 pass. And the reason you have 3 undefined is because this is catering for 6 scenarios, and this is data driven. So these are the 3 scenarios that you'll be executing, so with the different data. Okay, now the other thing that you'll see is that the I say is in there as part of a precondition, but the different steps that you do is I say hi, I say hola, I say hello was already created at the top, so that's why it executed that already. Now we can actually do those step definitions. So what we can do is we can actually these examples and make them and pass a variable. And the simple way we pass a variable is we just put our actions into quotes, or our examples into quotes, and the I say, which is this step, I say hello, should be able to cater for all of these ones. And what you'll see is we'll expect all of the test cases to pass now. So we have 6 test cases that pass, and if you see the scenario outlines, I say hello, how are you, good thanks, or hi, how you doing, great, cheers, or hola, ¿cómo estás? Bien, gracias. So as you can see, we've passed all of these different data based on these scenarios. We've made this scenario reusable, and as you can see, the maintenance slows down. So at the beginning we had to create a whole bunch of scenarios. Then we were able to reuse some of those modules by passing variables, and then we could use the same step on other sections and pass different data, and we just had to create one set of step definition that catered for some of those transactions. That's pretty much everything for the basic understanding of Gherkin format. So as a review, we went through the given, when, then. We looked at bullet points, we look at passing variables, and we look at the scenario outlines. I hope this was helpful, and we'll see you next time.